broadcasters. Welcome to episode 220 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Geige, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Excited to be using the custom layout for the first time, or I guess second time. How you doing?
Doing well. It's been a great week. Excited to, I know last time, there's tons and tons of questions about custom layouts, so we didn't get a chance to get all of them. So hope we can answer all the questions tonight. But for anyone new here, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard, and we do these town halls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we do them for a few reasons. One is to stay in tune with all of you, go through the same flow that you all do with your own shows and productions. Two is to answer any of your questions. That's why we're calling it Ask StreamYard. So if there's anything you'd like us to touch on tonight, feel free to leave it in the chat, and we'll do our best to get to as many as we possibly can. And then I always mention the three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional stream. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. See people tuning in from all over the world tonight. We have Diego from Colorado. Nice to have you here, Diego. Before I forget, we have awesome shows happening on StreamYard. So we got YouTube channel reviews with Dee and Daniel the second Saturday of every month. Really great show for anyone that's specifically interested in YouTube and looking to grow on YouTube. Both of them have a ton of knowledge when it comes to growing a channel and answering questions on things like how to interpret your analytics and think about titles and thumbnails and all that great stuff. And then we have Enhance Your Live Streams the last Tuesday of the month with Nick Nimmin. Again, Nick is a pro when it comes to all things video, but come there with your live streaming questions. And then one thing we've been doing at the start of these so that we get to know a little bit more about you, you get to know a little bit more about us, is a fun fact. And the fun fact we had for tonight was favorite comedy movie. So if you guys have a favorite comedy movie, let us know. Do you have one, Dan?
It's always tough. There's so many good comedy movies out there, and I think it's probably changed at various points in my life. I think I think my favorite one would probably be Something About Mary, if you've ever seen that movie.
Yes, I've definitely seen Something About Mary. It's a great movie. I think it's very hard to choose. I think mine, just because I watched it so much as a kid, is probably Happy Gilmore, also because I was like really into hockey and stuff as a kid. Cool. So yeah, it's definitely a classic. All right, I already see lots of questions coming in, but I wanted to first get to one of the biggest things and also play the video for it to refresh people's minds. And that is, so custom layouts. Obviously, we announced that last week, and now it's officially live. So everyone should have full access now. So on StreamYard, you can go and build custom layouts just like this one that we're using here. You'll see another example when we do the giveaway. We made a layout for that. So you'll see how that looks. And then I guess anything to add, Dan, before I play the video from Dana walking through it?
Yeah, I imagine a lot of you are already familiar with it. For anyone who isn't, it's really all about allowing you to have more customization over your stream so you can move people to various areas, and it is available on all plans, which is pretty exciting. And obviously, you don't have to use it. If you want to use our existing layouts, that's totally fine. But yeah, if you do want to have a little more of an advanced stream and kind of play around with things and have a really custom experience for your viewers, it's great for that. So yeah, let's go ahead and play the video.
Cool. We'll play the video, and I'll make sure I'm starring all your questions, and we'll get to all of those. So here's the video.
Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that we just launched custom layouts. You can now design your own high-quality layouts inside the studio. Choose to customize our existing layouts or create your own. You can use one or all of the three critical components to custom layouts: a dynamic camera grid, a camera slot, and a media slot. Each element has its own set of customization options, ensuring you have complete creative control over the design process. You can design and save up to 8 custom layouts, so they're easy to access for every show. Custom layouts are very easy to use. I'll walk you through it. Once you're in the studio, you'll now see a new plus sign and pencil icon for adding new layouts or editing current layouts. Let's create a new one together. I click the plus sign. When I'm setting up a new layout, I have the option to add an item. An item is either a dynamic camera grid, a solo camera slot, or a media slot. The dynamic grid is a unique responsive camera grid that adjusts based on the number of participants that are on screen. The dynamic grid will automatically position based on its aspect ratio to help you create a professional looking custom layout. You can only have one dynamic camera grid. A camera slot is just a space for one camera. You can have up to 10 of these different camera slots. A media slot can be used for screen shares or long form video files. You can only have one of these per custom layout. I'm going to add a dynamic camera slot and I'm going to select to preview it with 5 people because I have 5 guests. You can select to preview any number between 2 and 10 guests. Click the corners to resize your dynamic grid. Next, I'm going to add a media slot. I'll click on Add Item, then Media Slot. You can only have one media slot per custom layout. Once you've designed the perfect custom layout for your show, hit Save, and you'll be able to type in a name for this new custom layout. StreamYard will automatically create a new layout thumbnail for you, so you'll always know which layout to use. Here's another example of a custom layout. You can edit your custom layouts at any time. Just click the pencil icon here. You can even use custom layouts to feature a sign language interpreter in a camera slot in one of the corners of the screen, like this. And when you save a layout, it's not going to be active on the stage. You'll still have to select the layout to make it active. There's a lot of options when working with the dynamic grid. You can layer things forward or backwards. You can fit or fill the camera slots. You can choose the horizontal or vertical alignment, and you can use the participant previewer to see what it would look like with 2, 3, 4, up to 10 guests in the stream. You can also delete the entire camera grid if you'd like. Custom layouts means fully customized to you. You can drag and drop all of these elements on screen to put them in the perfect place for your show. Use the square corner handles to resize your element, and use the rectangle side handles to resize just the width or just the height. It's custom, so it's all up to you. To customize which layouts you see under the stream, click on the settings option, then click layouts. Uncheck the box for any layout you don't want to have available to you. You can just select the ones you've made. You can also rename or delete them from here. We recommend setting up all your custom layouts in advance, but if needed, you can create new custom layouts during a live stream. Although you can't assign a participant to a specific box, you can click to drag and drop people into the right places once the layout is active. Comments, banners, and tickers will still overlay the stream even when you're using custom layouts. Now you can fully customize where participants show up in your stream, a game changer for live streams and recordings. Custom layouts are available on all plans, so get started creating your new custom layout today. We're excited to see what you create. Happy streaming!
Awesome. Well, hopefully that's a helpful rundown of the feature. Dan and I are super excited about it. Now that some of you have hopefully had a chance to check it out, it'd be great to get feedback and answer any of your questions. We did try to make it really sort of tucked away and easy to use, and sort of have it where for folks that do want to go deeper on StreamYard and have a little bit more customization, offer that without making it too complex. So we're pretty happy with it, but of course it'd be great to hear from all of you. And again, just another thing to mention: this is just the start of the customization with custom layouts. We have some other really exciting things coming in the future related to these types of customization that I've sort of talked about or hinted at in the past. So definitely be on the lookout for that. All right, let's jump to some of these questions. Paranormal Gateway says, love the new custom layouts feature. With the media box feature, would it be possible to have a way to use our video clips maybe in the future, like a drag and drop feature? Do you want to take that one, Dan?
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I know Michael Daniels was asking a very similar question as well. It's something we've chatted about a little bit internally. Obviously, it does work with kind of anything that's at the bottom. So this could be screen sharing, video sharing, slide sharing, but the video sharing at the bottom of the screen, not the ones from the brand tab. We've always kind of treated those as like intro clips, outro clips, things that should be full screen and take over the whole stream. But yeah, I think it's an interesting idea and something we'll explore. I wouldn't say it's coming soon or anything, but you never know. If we get requested a lot more, something we might look into. But yeah, it's great feedback.
Cool. Studio Group says, is there a way to not have to stop screen share and start again when changing tabs or setting it up to a full screen? So one option is to share. Maybe that's what you mean by the second part, Studio. But if you're not already aware, one option is to share the entire window, like Chrome window or your entire screen. And that way, the people watching will be able to see all of the tabs, which you may or may not want. But that is one alternative to it. If you do want to use the tab sharing option, unfortunately, you do have to stop and reshare to select the new tab. Any other thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, I would say for the first thing you mentioned, where you share the full screen or even a full application, you do need multiple monitors. Well, you don't need multiple monitors, but I would strongly recommend multiple monitors if you're going to do that approach. But some people will just use one monitor and screen share the whole thing and then just switch into the tab they're working on. And actually that works totally fine as well. It's just going to be slightly cleaner if you have a second monitor, and also easier for you to monitor the chat and everything while doing what you need to do. But I know a lot of you do have a second monitor. So yeah, that's a pretty convenient way to do it. And a lot of people do that. Otherwise, yeah, you do have to switch tabs at the moment. We've considered allowing just sharing multiple screens, and then you could come into StreamYard and switch between all of them, but then you still need to click back into StreamYard and switch between them. And it's also a little heavy having to share two screens at once. So I would recommend what Geige said, if possible, where you share the whole thing. Hopefully that's helpful.
Cool. Awesome, Elizabeth. Glad that you're enjoying it. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's see what else we had here. Speak English with this guy says, is there any way StreamYard can highlight member milestones and when memberships are gifted in the chat? So we do support a lot of the YouTube functionality when it comes to things like super chats and surfacing them within the studio. We'd love to support more. So I think right now we don't actually have access to some of those things, like when it comes to gifted memberships and some of the milestone stuff. But I know that the YouTube team wants to make sure that those things are available. So getting this feedback's useful because we can pass it along to them. And once that is supported over the YouTube API for us to actually pull that into StreamYard, we'd certainly like to support it.
Yeah, we do show something when someone becomes a member, if that's what you're referring to. But yeah, it's not a ton of functionality yet.
Cool. Let's Go So with Joanne says, I need a slower paced tutorial. Hope to find some. So we do have the written help docs. Let's Go So with Joanne. Hopefully the fact that like it is posted on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it back and pause it, but definitely noted in the future to maybe make things a little bit slower.
Yep. Yeah, and I would recommend also just trying it out a bit too. But yeah, there's a lot of functionality in there, so it'll take a while to kind of try out every possible thing. And maybe we'll have a more comprehensive tutorial soon that just goes through absolutely every feature. Or I'm sure that some of you guys out there watching maybe even will create tutorials for it and just help out people.
Cool. Crystal says, I've tried using the free version, but I can't get my mic to get access. Could it be my computer's not compatible? Sorry if it's a stupid question. I'm not computer savvy. No, not a stupid question at all, Crystal. So it could be all kinds of things. So I definitely would go to StreamYard.com/contact, and there's a great help doc there that walks through. So like there's a whole set of issues that it could be if it's Mac versus Windows. So I'd sort of go step by step there. And there's also live chat 24/7. They'd be happy to walk through that with you to troubleshoot it. But your computer, it shouldn't be an issue with your computer being compatible. Essentially, every computer should be compatible with StreamYard. So I'm sure that the support team can help you get it working.
Yeah, and a lot of issues do end up being temporary. Not always, but a lot of times, like Chrome has some issues basically where it can like lock your camera, or another program can kind of lock your camera or mic, and then you can't really use it. But either restarting your computer or restarting just the browser will sometimes fix it. Yeah, there's a bunch of things it could be basically. Sometimes it is actually an issue with your mic itself, but that's usually only the case if you have some kind of external mic with a bunch of different things going on.
Cool. Let's see what else we had here. Marissa says, love the new features because I can create custom layouts for each of my clients and have access as their producer. Super happy about it. Awesome, Marissa. Glad that it's working well for you. Azad says, hello, I'm using StreamYard for Persian language and that are writing from right to left, but StreamYard's ticker scroll from left to right by default for the English language. So yes, Azad, it's something that we definitely want to support in the future.
Yep.
Creative Lady says, I'd love to see how others are using custom layouts. We should have a custom layout playlist of examples. That's a really cool idea, Creative Lady. I think I saw quite a few other people ask that as well. Let's Go Show with Joanne would like to see some examples. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So I think another person was asking if there's a place where they can post, some of the layouts that they've created. So in terms of posting them, I think the community group would be a great place. So if you just go to Facebook and type in StreamYard community, it should be the first one that pops up. That's a great place for sharing things like custom layouts, but definitely noted on the examples. I'll let the team know. Maybe we can sort of come up with something to, have submissions and share some of the cool submissions of custom layouts, because I think there's some really creative, cool stuff that would be fun to share. Absolutely.
Yep.
Steven says, how does one change the background? Is it just using an overlay? So I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm misunderstanding, Steven. If you just mean in general, the background is just an overlay that where the Z index is in the back in terms of where it's layered. So it's just like the same. It's similar to overlays. It's just behind you instead of in front of you. And if you mean specifically with custom layouts work the same way as the regular layouts when it comes to things like backgrounds and overlays.
Yeah, and if you're trying to find it on StreamYard, it's just in the brand section on the right. There's an overlay section, and then there's also a background section.
Cool. NLTMW says, is there a way to duplicate a custom layout to make a layout for making tutorials with the pip window in the bottom left or right corner? Tough to get the windows the same size. Yes, one really cool thing is if you just click one of the original layouts and hit the edit layout button, when you save it, it will save it as a new layout, right there.
Well, you can choose. So yeah, like let's say you made a really cool layout with a translator in the bottom corner and they're a certain size, and then you want to make another one with maybe a second person right next to them that's the same size. So you would just create the first layout, save it, and then click edit. So there's that edit icon at the bottom in the layout section. Click edit, do whatever change you want, and then click save. And then it will say save as new or update the existing layout. So you get to kind of choose there.
Cool. Ministerio says, is there a way to make a custom layout return the camera to normal when stopping a presentation? When I stop sharing the presentation, the camera stays in small form. So that's useful feedback. And I'd be curious, other folks, what kind of behavior they'd like to see when it comes to exactly that, like things like stopping a screen share and whatnot. Because right now, we sort of figured that with custom layouts, for folks that are wanting to change things and have that level of editing, maybe they don't want behavior that's exactly the same as the original layouts, but would be super curious if this is something that other folks want as well. So basically, if it's not clear what this is, like if you're sharing a screen inside of a custom layout, StreamYard's built-in screen sharing layout, when you stop sharing, it sort of transitions to a different layout, whereas the custom ones sort of stay fixed.
Yeah, and I would add, like, that is something we're considering. So we're trying to, we made decisions on all this different stuff, and we need to kind of see if we want to adjust any of it at all. And that's one of the things we are considering is, should we have it where it does switch back to another layout in certain cases? Should that be a setting? There's a few different things we're kind of exploring there. So yeah, good to get the feedback.
Jamel says, are comments coming for the on-air version as those who watch our show on our website want to comment? Yes, absolutely, Jamel. Comments will be coming in the. I mean, people can comment today if they're watching on StreamYard itself, but they also will be available in the future to embed that comment section as well. And it's not the surprise for tonight, but the surprise for tonight is related to on air. So we'll talk a little bit more about on air later on.
Probably pretty soon because we don't have too much time.
Yeah, it's going quick. Dave says, loving the custom layouts. Of course, it's my new favorite rabbit hole to go down, where a few hours of my time disappear as I get creative. This is a good thing. Awesome, Dave. Super happy to hear that. Yeah, we're definitely excited about that. Folks being able to sort of like, have fun, really spending a lot of time building out their layout. So that's really cool to hear.
Yeah, I'm similar, Dave. When I was first kind of testing it out, I just started going down rabbit holes and trying to see what I could do and playing around with all kinds of different things. And then, of course, you can go create an overlay to match that custom layout. Like it never ends how much stuff you can do.
Britt says, I think a similar question to before, is there a good place to sort of share custom layouts and where we can get ideas? So Facebook group is definitely the best place for now, Britt, but I really like the idea. So definitely maybe we'll come up with something for submissions and share them out.
Yep.
Corelli says, we regularly do live fishing tournaments with 8 competitors and 2 hosts. This will help a whole lot. That's awesome. Corelli, hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right.
Cool.
Steve says, is it on the roadmap for camera green screen to be able to overlay with other elements, media or BG? Do you want to take that one, Dan?
Trying to make sure I understand it. For camera green screen to be able to overlay with other elements. So if I'm understanding correctly, does that mean you want to replace your background and kind of put yourself, like basically make it transparent and then put the cutout of yourself over top of other stuff? If so, I would say not right now. It's not on the roadmap, but it's definitely something we've considered and we have explored different ways to do that. But yeah, it's not coming soon or anything. And let me know if I'm off though, if that's actually what you mean.
Holly says, why does StreamYard not pull over emojis from YouTube into the comments? It distorts them or puts the code. So most of them it should put in, Holly, but if that's not your experience, definitely we'd appreciate if you'd support it. So the only reason is some of the emojis are custom to YouTube, and for ones that aren't supported, we essentially just show like the name of them. But for example, like I think budgeting, just because use an emoji here, you should see that emoji from YouTube there. But we'd like to support more and more in the future. So if there's any ones that we don't support, I assume I guess any other thoughts on that one? And I assume that in the future we'll likely
I
try
don't
to
know.
support
I assume that should in theory be possible to just use YouTube's ones or pull them from YouTube somehow.
Okay, so definitely
Unless you
noted.
change them. That's always the challenge.
Let's see what else we had here. Kathy says, thank you for always listening to our requests. Well, thank you so much for making them, Kathy. That's the whole reason why we do these. So we really, really appreciate the fact that you guys actually show up and give us all this awesome feedback. Sounds like some folks, several folks are a fan of having at least the option to have the cameras go back after screen sharing. Really good to know.
Yeah, makes sense. I feel that as well. Like in our last, you'll see it again this week, but in our town hall last week, we felt that a bit. And like, okay. There are cases where I'd want to switch back. There's also cases where I wouldn't want to switch back. So,
yeah, absolutely. Jamel says, is StreamYard considering adding markers to the show so it'll be easier for us to go back and grab clips for repurposing? So we are working on all kinds of stuff and considering all kinds of stuff when it comes to editing and repurposing. Jamel, it's a really big focus. Like recently we added the Shorts and Reels integration, and we have that built-in editor, and we're continuing to make improvements to it. So in terms of, I would be super curious how exactly you'd want it to work, but this is the type of stuff we've talked about in terms of like, how can we, after your show's over, make it really easy to pick out the best parts? And whether that's, we've considered things like markers, we've considered doing it with AI. There's all kinds of things that we're exploring and experimenting with and trying, but we absolutely want to make it as easy as possible to get the best clips for repurposing.
Yep.
Awesome, NLTMW. Glad that you're using the duplication feature. Another one we had here, Architectural Sheet Metal 101 says, when will automatic scene switching be available? So I don't have a date or anything for you, Architectural Sheet Metal, but when I mentioned it earlier in terms of more and more things coming to custom layouts to provide more functionality, that is the type of stuff that we're absolutely working on and want to add. So stay tuned. We'll have more information in the future. Should we go ahead and queue up the giveaway for now, Dan, as I get to more of these questions?
Yeah, do we want to talk about the surprise as well?
Yes, I guess I should get to that. Yeah,
first?
Yeah. So the surprise for tonight is actually a new feature. So that new feature is it's a tinier feature, but I think it's pretty cool, and that is tracking for on-air attendance. And for anyone new who maybe isn't familiar with on-air is a feature we launched a few months ago for StreamYard, which basically allows you to use all the power of the StreamYard studio to do your very own webinars or private live streams or things you're hosting sort of on your own website. And it's really cool. It has you can use StreamYard's built-in registration. So if you want to go out to your email list and sort of use it as a way to collect emails and market that way, it's a really powerful tool for that. Sometimes folks ask, like, when should I use on-air versus regular live streaming? So I think a cool example is just, I think how we use it is a pretty good example. So these town halls, we just want as many people to see as possible. And we use it as a way to sort of spread the word about StreamYard. And we usually use on air for, like, if we have a more focused event or something that we want a specific segment of our audience to show up for, that's oftentimes when we'll use something like, not something like that's when we'll use on air. And on air also has the cool advantage of being able to actually collect those emails and collect those emails and get that extra piece of information. But yeah, the new feature is now when someone, we used to just have the list of registrations. If someone registered, you'd have a list of everyone who registered. But now you can actually see, I guess you want to talk a little bit, Dan, about the different things that are surfaced.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So it's, if somebody showed up live, you will see that they showed up live. If someone didn't show up live but watched the replay, maybe a few hours later or something, that will also be on there. So you'll see, did they show up live? Did they watch the replay? Or did they just register, but they never actually showed up? So we're basically differentiating those for you so that if you want to, maybe send out an email afterwards to everyone that was there live, or maybe everyone that didn't make it, you want to send an email to them, you can now do that, which is very helpful. And then we'll obviously get deeper with analytics over time. This is kind of the first basic version of analytics. And I'll just show a quick picture here. So for anyone who's used On Air before, you may be familiar with this page. This is where you see all the registrations for your On Air webinar. And you can see on the right now, there's a status section that just shows, did this person attend live? Did they watch it after? Did they only register? Cool.
Cool. So yeah, hopefully folks are excited for that. If you have any other questions about it or any other feedback on air, definitely let us know. But should we go ahead and queue up the giveaway tool, Dan?
You betcha.
All right. So I think most folks are familiar, but if you've never been to one of these before, we always do a giveaway at the end. So tonight we'll be giving away, we'll give away one of those pillows that I have in the back there, and a StreamYard. Let's do the sweater. We'll do the StreamYard sweater and the StreamYard pillow. So to be eligible, all you have to do is type in hashtag the yards. We'll give you maybe 15 seconds or so to get in your hashtag the yards. And if you're ever interested in doing one of these giveaways on your own, we actually made this tool available. So if you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, you can sort of actually, yeah, we're going to show the new layout too, right, Dan? Do we want to use this one? Cool. So this is an example of a custom layout with the giveaway tool. But yeah, if you ever want to do these yourself, you can just go to StreamYard.com/giveaway and do it exactly how we're doing it. You can choose your own hashtag as well. So you don't have to, you can do, hashtag my awesome show or whatever your show is called.
This one might actually cover the people when they win. So I feel like that one's a bit small. Here, let me resize the window.
Cool.
Maybe that's better.
All right. So while we give you that time, let's do a couple more or maybe one more question here. Martha says, I'm new to StreamYard, but I would love to have the option to batch live streams. For example, a live stream that will run every Monday at 7 for 8 weeks. So we do have the option to do pre-recorded streams, Martha, so you can actually upload a video and schedule it out at a future time. But batching or sort of doing a pre-recorded recurring is something that would be new. So that's a cool request. I'd be curious if there's other folks that would use that. But definitely noted, Martha. We have heard that a few times in the past, but not very often. I'd love to learn a little bit more about your use case too. Is it just sort of like an evergreen webinar, and is it something that you said live stream, so I assume it would be going out to social media, but yeah, we'd love to learn more. All right, is it stabilized, Dan? Should we go ahead and run?
I think it's close enough. Let's do it for a pillow and a sweater. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
Actually, this layout did work.
Yeah, fits nicely. Carter, congrats.
Carter.
Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. If you could send an email to contact@streamyard.com, the team can get your address and size and everything shipped over to you. We'll cut to this one.
Cool. Sorry, we chose different layouts.
It's all good. All right, we have time maybe for one or two more questions here. Annie says, any plans to create customer lower third / titles? So maybe I'm misunderstanding the questions, Annie. So definitely let me know if I'm missing it. But the headlines feature we have now, you can see under Dan's name where it says like this is the new headline feature. That's a great way to put in, like if you have a guest, put in their title or something like that. I'm assuming I might be misunderstanding. Like if you mean sort of custom like banners, let me know. So with banners, you do have the built-in themes to choose from to customize it that way, but we don't have something that's fully customizable like layouts, at least not yet. All right, let's do maybe one more here. I got to get through all the hashtag the yards. Left Coast Graphics says, how do you have more entries than people in the chat? It's because we're streaming to multiple places, Left Coast. So we're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. So that's one cool thing about that giveaway tool is it pulls in comments from all of those places and puts them into the giveaway. So that's why there's not any shenanigans. All right, and with that, this was episode 220 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Can't wait to see all the cool custom layouts that all of you make. And we will see you next week at the same time, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Awesome. See you next week, everyone.